Hello, I'm Tandy. Welcome to another video. In today's, we're going to be running through a standard league with what I consider the best deck, Grixis Midrange. This deck is essentially all the best cards for three colors that are both interactive and threats. It looks very similar to the Rakdos Midrange decks you see in Pioneer, and it plays similarly too because they share a lot of the same cards. The one card that really stands out to me as best card in the deck, and maybe best card in the whole format, is Bloodtithe Harvester. For 2 mana, not only do you get a 3-power creature, but it creates a blood token, which can prevent flooding, but it also doubles as allowing you to interact with your opponent's creatures, like Skrelv or other things that might be hard to deal with otherwise. Bloodtithe Harvester is kind of the thing that helps you bridge the gap, and I think that every one of these decks would be significantly worse without it. Once you have Fable the Mirror Breaker going on the backside, copying it is incredible. It just becomes removal. That also lets you turn a land into a fresh card. Fable the Mirror Breaker, obviously one of the other best cards in the deck, maybe one of the best cards in the format, or definitely one of the best cards in the format, maybe the best card in the format. Multi-format all-star. Fable has just been tearing it up in Modern as well. I just think this card's extremely good, and so I'm very happy to be able to play it in lower power formats. Cut Down and Go for the Throat are kind of our replacements for things like Fatal Push, but Cut Down kills enough things in Standard that I think it's just great. And Go for the Throat kind of cleans up the bigger things that you wouldn't necessarily be able to deal with Cut Down. A Braid, a decent removal spell that doubles as a way to kill a Reckoner Bankbuster, which is great for the mirror matches. A couple Make Disappear gives you an alternate angle of attack that's surprisingly good. Surprisingly good has been Make Disappear, both against me and in my possession. Corpse Appraiser, another reason to splash blue in your Rakdos deck. Corpse Appraiser is incredible. I know that you might love Graveyard Trespasser, you might think it's a really great card, but Corpse Appraiser is on another level if you can cast it, right? Now, the reason people play Graveyard Trespasser over Corpse Appraiser is because it's monocolor, right? But when you are able to play the Grixis colors for Corpse Appraiser, being able to exile something from the graveyard, digging the top 3 for removal, creature, whatever, fantastic. Shieldred the Apocalypse, another hit, mythic rare, dominates Pioneer, excellent Standard. Blade Cool Serpent's kind of our super top end thread. It's like a singleton that we can draw later in the game to give us a little bit of that X factor. It can have haste, it can draw some cards, it can make our opponents discard some cards, just depending on however we want to tap our dual lands when we cast it. If you notice, most of our lands do tap for black outside of 3 copies of Shivan Reef. Invoke Despair, usually pretty easy to cast, but with the 3 Shivan Reef and the Odawara, if you draw 2 of those, Invoke might be a little harder to cast, so keep that in mind. Grixis Command, another one that has been tearing me up lately when I play against it, but choose 2. This is kind of like our extra copy of Invoke. Most of us only play 3 Invoke, but Grixis Command is similar in what it does when you cast it, as far as just like providing you with a dominant amount of game pieces or whatever. Like, you clean up a bunch of your opponent's small creatures, you make them sack their biggest thing. You can return some creatures like Corpse Appraiser or Bloodtithe Harvester from your graveyard back to your hand. It's just a great card, and it even edicts their biggest thing. So sometimes it's a complete one-sided Wrath of God. You kill their little things, and then they make them edict their biggest thing. It's pretty insane. Invoke Despair, though, 5 mana, it can pop a Fable of the Mirror Breaker and a creature and draw a card. This is just a very generic, powerful late game spell that generates card advantage, but it's actually not that good at dealing with a swarm. So if your opponent's able to go wide on you, Invoke Despair can be a little bit weak. Our mana base, just tons of dual lands, an emphasis on fast lands with Blackcleave Cliffs and Darkslick Shores. And then we have 6 of the Haunted Ridge / Shipwreck, or 7 of the Haunted Ridge Shipwreck March, 4 Xander's Lounge, and then some paint lands to kind of round it out with the Shivan Reef, Sulphur Springs, Underground River. And then we have 3 swamps. Could potentially play 2 swamps and Takenuma, but there's actually a deck in the format that aggressively kills your non-basics. There's a white weenie deck that plays essentially 8 copies of Field of Ruin, and so the more basics you can play, the better, I think. Sideboard, a couple negates and Disdainful Strokes for the longer, grindier matchups. Invoke Despair for the mid-range decks. Grixis Command, similarly good there. Annoy with Affliction, great removal spell for things like Esper Legends. Duress, awesome against the slower control decks of the format. A Brotherhood's End to help out with artifacts or sweep up creatures. A Flame Blast Bolt to help exile your opponent's Razor Lash Transmogrants, which we have one in the board, but I think that this is oftentimes a really troublesome creature to deal with. And then a 4th Reckoner Bankbuster, which will come in against anyone who's slow. And then a second Blade Coil Serpent for mirror matches. This is Grixis Mid from Stainerson, Tommy Ashton. I think the dude builds decks well, plays well, always crushes on MTGO. Also, just a cool guy that I haven't seen in a long time, and I miss him. We weren't super close friends, but I like Tommy a bunch. So anyway, this is Tommy Ashton, Stainerson's Grixis Midrange. Just play a standard league. All right, we're here for round number 1 with Grixis Midrange. I'm on the play. A pretty decent opener we'll keep. I'll lead with, we don't need any blue cards on 2, really, but I guess we could draw Make Disappear, but I think I'd rather hold up Cut Down and not play the Shipwreck Mark tap. Adam T, thanks for the Prime Gamer sub. Welcome to the Todd Squad. I'm gonna throw you up sub rats myself till more people get in here. All right, here comes the bloody boy. Harvester v Harvester, so we'll probably just trade our Cut Down for that, and then hold up Go for the Throat / whatever. Drawing the 4th land makes me feel pretty safe about what's going on. Gix's Command can be our ace in the hole for later, returning this and Shieldred back to our hand or something. Very doubtful they have main deck Go Blank or Duress. What's up, Moons? So you got second in your modern RCQ with Mill, lost to the Nuts draw from the Hammer in the finals, won an invite for a Pioneer event in the capital, but I know nothing about Pioneer. What do you think? Is a safer deck to play out of Gruul, Mono White Humans, Phoenix? Gruul's probably the safest. I think it has the least amount of like bad matchups, and like you can just kind of cheese anyone with double elf draws and stuff. All right, we're gonna go for this thing for now. We can use the Gix's Command for later. Nice, we drew the thing for it. But mostly, I just want to make sure I can keep pressuring their life total. And now they can't really use Fable either. If they did, they would have had to kill the Shieldred with the trigger on, which they still could. All right, so I choose not to discard. If it's just Shieldred of their own, Archfiend, I don't even know what this does. Archfiend of the Dross. Enters about 4 counter. Beginning of your upkeep, remove an old counter from it. Whenever an opponent controls, it loses 2 life. All right, so we'll just edict that. All right, so we'll do each one attacks creature with the highest power, and then put 2 1/1 counters on up to 1 creature. It gains lifelink. Okay. Put 2 counters on up to 1 creature. Guess we'll put it on the Harvester. This is just lethal, right? I guess it's not technically lethal. They'll go to 1, and then they can kill this with the trigger on, or before the draw step. Good hand? Yeah, it was good hand. Says my opponents. All right, we'll bring in the Gixes, the Invoke, and the Blade Coil, the Bankbuster, and the Razor Lash. I'm curious if I want to bring in the Annoyance. I don't think so. I don't mind the Brotherhoods in, though, especially on the draw. Sometimes you can just sweep up a bunch of stuff. I know Make Disappear is okay against the counter spells, but I don't. I mean, when you're on the draw, in general, against decks with attrition shit, the Make Disappears can rot in your hand because you kind of just have to keep pace with what they're doing. All right, I really don't know what to side out here. I'm thinking it's Cut Down. Cut Down seems great though for stopping exactly Blood Tithe Harvester, but I don't know that if it's worth keeping them in just to deal with Blood Tithe. I think I'm gonna cut the Make Disappears too. I think I'm gonna trust my guts, at least when we're just doing initial testing. We don't have blue, but we do have Bankbuster, and we even have a backup in case they duress us. Not that they necessarily would, but they might. It definitely does not play the same moons. I would, if you haven't played it in Pioneer, I don't think I would recommend it. Do I just play Bankbuster? I think I just play Harvester. Because if they have a Braid, I want them to kill the Blood Tithe Harvester instead. And if I can wait until I can activate Bankbuster, giving them the ability to use the mana kind of sucks if they have the Gopher Throat, which they did. But if they're Gopher Throating that instead of a Shield Red later, I think I'm okay with that. All right, so here's Trespasser. This one's going to chew me up for a minute. Hmm. Not sure what to discard, so I'm just not going to discard anything yet. Might not discard at all. I will take the 3. Probably going to play the Shield Red next turn. The Trespasser. This is why we bring in Brotherhoods in, right? For exactly this scenario. Might even want a second one just for this. Now we're going to play the Shield Red, but if it dies, we're very likely to lose, but there's not really anything we can do about it. You know, we have what we have. We didn't draw removal, and cut down wouldn't have killed Trespasser anyway. If I play Bankbuster on 2 instead of Trespasser, maybe we end up being okay. We could still be fine. If they just have any big payoff here, we're in trouble. Alright, so our Shield Reds are kind of canceling each other out right now. I'm just not going to attack. They didn't have a kill spell last turn, so hopefully they don't have one this turn. Fable's fine. Harvester, not that fine. Guess I'll just play another one. While we're able to draw cards with our Shield Red out, I always want to make sure we're doing that. Alright, so they sack the Goblin. We'll draw... Oh, and the Fable. Nice. So we got both. No trades. My opponent last game said good hand. I wonder if they're going to say the same thing this game. Luckily, they burned that Gopher Throat very early. Kind of want to play Razor Lash in case they draw Invoke. I guess we can play Razor Lash and Invoke, so let's just play Invoke first. I don't really want to play the Grixis command. They'll sack Blood Tithe. They're like getting pretty low on life. I'm going to offer a trade with their Shield Red now. I think this is fine. So we have the backup and we're just resource flush. This transformed as well, so our Bankbuster checks it. Alright, we're on the draw. This hand's actually better on the draw, I think, because we kind of need the 3rd land drop. Alright, Recruitment Officer. This can go south quickly since we don't have a cut down. Xander's Lounge is a great draw, because we don't have anything to do on that turn anyway. Let's hope they don't go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 would be very bad for us. Oh, Sun Gold Sentinel's scary. I don't really want to play Blood Tithe Harvester. I feel like if I do, my opponent's just going to ruin me. Alright, let's just say go, and then if they play Adeline, we'll kill that. If they play anything else, we'll kill Sun Gold with a Braid. And then we'll go Corpse Appraiser, get a card, have a blocker. Alright, so Braid this thing. Hope we don't get punished by some trick, but they don't really play... There's no, like, Brave the Elements or anything that's generically good to play in that slot. Yeah, I mean, imagine this card in block constructed, right? Be kind of outrageous. All right, so we'll play Shipwreck Marsh, and then we'll play Corpse Appraiser, blue, red, black. And the next time we get Blood Tithe plus Go for a Throat. We will take Shield Red because we might need to gain life back. And if they go for some way to exile this, it's okay, not great. We'll definitely block. If all they have is a Gonjo or a buff spell, that's fine. Oh, I guess if it's the Wandering Emperor, we get completely blown out. Let's just take it. The Wandering Emperor giving first strike is a bad look. And I think I'd rather just chill. All right, cool. All right, let's go double Blood Tithe Harvester, and then we can block next turn. All right, so they did have it. They'll make a 2/2. And then they'll probably plus on it and attack with a 3/3 Vigilance first strike, and then hold these back. Oh, we should have attacked. That was a mistake. I should have attacked this into this, but they made a mistake by playing it early, and I made a mistake by not pressuring it. That was my bad. Big punts. Medium punts. We're both shortcutting. I'll call it even Stevens, right? They do it EOT. It's not a big deal. Kind of want a triple block. All right, well. We'll go block. We'll take the 3 first strike. If they have another Wandering Emperor to plus on this thing, the Gonjo's not a big deal. All right, let's go kill the Samurai because it's big. Maybe we should have went go for a throat and attacked. I didn't really have a good play otherwise. All right, so this is going to drain them. We're going to probably use a blood token too. I don't want to guarantee my... I don't really want to use Shivan Reef with Blade Coil, but maybe we don't have to. All right, they discard Adeline. We're going to lay down arms. Adversary. Okay, just a life linker. That's fine. I do think I want a blood token just to gain the life, and I think I'm going to discard Shivan Reef. All right, so let's go. Maybe we just do nothing. Then we'll kill 2 things. Actually, I'll go ahead and cut down this so they can't get a card off of it. And then I'll say go. I'll go for a throat / block, depending on what they do. I think discarding the Shivan Reef is fine. I think not playing the Blade Coil is okay. Alright, we're going to give them incentive to attack with everything. Alright, let's just kill this and block. Alright, so we'll go Blade Coil. So for every blue, we draw a card. For every black, they discard. So we can do all 3, right? I think all 3 is just money. So we'll go black, red, blue. So it's like a little mini Cruel Ultimatum. So we draw, they discard, and it gets haste. And now we can pressure the Wandering Emperor. And I'll just pressure it with this, so it's a chump if they want to trade, or they can double block and we'll kill Adeline. They just let it die. Okay, and now we're at 16, so I think we're just Gucci. Oh, that's fine, James. All right. So we want the Flame Blast Bolt, Anoint, Brotherhood's End, Grixis Command. think we can cut, even though the Serpent was good there, it's not great in this matchup, so I think cutting it's okay. I don't hate invokes, but they're pretty expensive. And I think in general, we just want to reduce our overall mana count. So we probably want to do something like this. If you want to trim some Bank Busters, I think that's okay. None of these other cards are really that necessary. So maybe we go leave the invokes, maybe cut the last Bank Buster, bring in the last invoke, because it's just good against Wedding Announcement. I'm not a big fan of this hand, but we're going to keep. We have a couple lands and a cut down. If they don't have a 1-drop, we are maybe okay. Don't start with a 1-drop means that now we need to get a little lucky. Third land is very wanted. Next turn we can go Xander's Lounge, cut down this or whatever 2-drop, and then Corpse Appraiser on 3. Alright, I think I'm going to let Skrelv sit for a minute, chat. I could wait on the cut down. I feel like that's bad in general. But it's basically Skrelv is a lightning rod, so either I kill it or I kill the recruitment officer. Wedding Announcement is pretty bad. Grixis Command is great, though. Do we want a land 5 or go for Throat? Go for Throat can't kill Skrelv. I think I'm going to go for land 5. Next turn we can go Fable Cliffs, and then the turn after we can go Grixis Command. Just sweep up all the little things, and then Edict the biggest thing. And that'll be about the time that the Wedding Announcement's done. Alright, well, this is now more scary. Alright, well, we'll block. If they want to protect... Oh, it doesn't protect. Never mind. Alright, well, we drew another untapped land, so I'll just take it and play the Shielder this turn. Hope they don't ossification it. They can give the Adeline Pro Black, and I can't block it. But next turn, we should be able to sweep up everything. I got to make sure that I don't accidentally play Black Leaves Close, so I'm going to put it somewhere in the middle of my hand. I've done that before. It's a big bummer. Alright, we'll block Human Token. Alright, Haunted Ridge. Grixis Command will go, each opponent sacks a creature of the highest power. Destroy each creature with power 2 or less. This is why Grixis Command is just so good, because it just cleans up everything here. Alright, we can actually attack now, I think. Maybe not because of the Mistress Factory. I'll just chill. This thing is a 3/3 attacking with the Wedding Festivities. It's possible I just missed damage there, though. It's kind of hard to say. Siaki, thanks for the follow. Chat, has anyone been playing Standard? Are you having fun? That was a good draw. Been playing a lot of Grixis. I mean, it feels like the best deck. I don't know what else to say. It just feels like you have the tools to beat everything. You pull after, it's okay. This is walking into Wandering Emperor, but like, if they want a minus to kill this thing, I'm fine with it. My guess is they're just going to make 2/2s, but we will offer a trade of Blood Tithe for Samurai if they have another ossification for Shieldred. And then we got to find a way to pressure the Emperor. Adversary with what? Kicker once? Alright, so now it's a 5/5 Vigilance. First strike, we'll take 5. Not the best, but it does lose first strike now, so we can attack with just Shieldred at the Wandering Emperor and see what happens. Alright, so before damage... Alright, before damage, we're going to crack this blood token. We'll discard Black Cleave so we can gain 2 life. Odawara. So we can bounce Wedding Festivities, and then this gets eaten. But then they'll just minus. I think I'm just going to play Fable. See, this only costs 3, so I guess I can play Fable and Odawara. Alright, we'll play Fable. I'm going to hold the Haunted Ridge and the Odawara, I think. Maybe I should have bounced this when it only costed 3. I would have had to play out my hand, though. Another adversary. Okay, so they can kick it twice now. I think we'll just chump block the Samurai, and then we can go bounce it, and then maybe send a couple things at Wandering Emperor. We kind of need to find removal, though. Yeah, I mean, okay, so they didn't do it. I'm gonna double block. Cut down, huh? Alright, yes. We'll discard Cut Down and Haunted Ridge. Not great. Guess we're gonna lose. Guess we can just bounce the Samurai, chump here. I guess we can also bounce Ossification and block. Alright. Chump the adversary. I guess if I Odawara instead, I can trade for adversary, and that's better. So big. So I'd block like this, I take 5. You could also just trade here, take chump here, take 4. Is that okay? It's here. Alright, we'll take 5. Now I need to draw something pretty good here. They can still minus Wandering Emperor and make another 5/5. So I guess I need to draw... I don't even know what. Alright, next game. Wonder if I should have Bankbuster in. It seems like they're very good at going later in the game now. So maybe I want some more of my late game stuff, and we can maybe trim some of our early game stuff. Although most of my early game stuff is just removal that's good. So, alright. Like, Cut Down gets a lot worse after board, I guess. Flame Blast Bolt might be worse than Blade Coil or Bankbuster. I'm gonna trim one Cut Down on the play for Bankbuster if it'll let me. This one's pretty good. We'll keep. I kind of want to hold on to the Xander's Lounge for cycling later, but I feel like we don't need to do that necessarily this early. But it does let me potentially... I think I'm just going to Xander's Lounge. I can just turn 2 Anoint and then turn 3 Blood Tithe Cut Down. Something like that. I just got to be aware enough not to walk into Wandering Emperor, I think, is all. Wonder if I should be siding in Duress after sideboard. Duress just seems like a great card in the format. Skrelv? Alright, that's fine. We'll go for Harvester. So now we can cut down the Skrelv, and then we can Anoint or go for their next thing. We can start attacking, get some blood tokens going. Sun Gold's not a big deal. Alright, so let's go cut down on the Skrelv. Let's just deal 3 here. Swing on in. Now we got some removal spells lined up for the next couple plays. Now, here's where Wedding Announcement gets really gross, right? Because it's just a 1-for-1 trade or whatever on 3 times. Alright, let's discard Chivalry since we don't have that much to do. Fable's a great pickup. I'm actually going to get aggressive as well and attack for 3. I think we can maybe steal the game from Wedding Announcement just by being aggressive. Might be difficult because it plays defense really well too, though. But these spell removal spells are significantly worse now, so I might just discard both. Alright, we'll discard Go for a Throat, Haunted Ridge. So we can attack with both. If they block, double block, we can anoint one of the tokens. But I think just waiting on the Grixis command is right, because they're just going to make 2 more tokens next turn, and then we can just clear them out. And they might not even block. Alright, well, they drew the 4th land. That's like step 1 of them getting back into the game. The Wedding Announcements are going to carry them for a minute. Adversary. Okay, we'll let them kick it, and then we can kill it, right? And then we can... I guess we don't even have to. We're going to attack with 1. So now we could just go... Destroy creatures with power 2 or less, and then Edict. But I think I'd rather put a counter on my thing, so we'll just take the 2. That's fine. Alright, let's just go ahead and... Maybe... I think saving the Anoint's better, though. 1 counter and lifelink versus saving the counter. Alright, they only need to draw the 1 card, that's fine. Alright, we'll just... Oh my god, that flipped. Okay, now we can't. So we have to do this now. That's okay. Alright, so let's go Edict. Or no, let's go sweep all the little things. It's gonna kill my stuff too, though. I guess we can go kill everything and then put a counter on my Fable. I'll put it on my Reflection. We could have dealt more damage this turn, but it wouldn't have been lethal. And now we have Reflection plus Blood Tithe Harvester going. Tilt. Alright. Yeah, you're too strong, Tim. I need you to relax a little. Alright, let's go... Go for a throw at this thing so they can't gain cards off of it. Play my Shieldred. I'm going to force a trade here. They have to trade. I think that's good that they have to trade. And now they have 1 less blocker for Shieldred, and... Dang. Maybe attacking was bad. Alright, so now we just need to draw something. We're going to be getting smashed for a bunch of 4/4s or whatever in the next few turns. Go for a Throat. Not a great answer to Mishra's Foundry. Tilt. Any opinions on the standard Gen midrange deck? So I'm thinking taking to the RC. I would play Grixis, if I'm being honest, man. I don't think the green adds more to the deck than the blue does. I think Corpse Appraiser is excellent and is actively a reason to play blue, whereas Gen feels just like, oh, I can play another color, so why don't I, you know? Alright, let's just kill this stupid thing. Alright, we need to top deck something big here. Something big here would be nice. Alright, are we in chump block mode? I think so. They can activate 2 Mishras. I guess it's only 8. It's not quite chump block mode. Yeah, I think Unleash is cool, but I really don't think it's better than all the stuff that we're doing in Grixis. I just think Corpse Appraiser is just the nuts, is all. Alright, we got 2 looks at a good one. Alright, that's a great draw. Corpse Appraiser gives us a blocker and looks for a removal spell. Cut down doesn't kill anything. I think Invoke is best. We'll just sit back. Chill. We'll go... This is honestly a shitty trade, because them gaining life is very bad for us. Alright, they finally drew a weak card, I think. I think they're able to activate Foundry and attack and then give it the potential buff. Alright, so we have to block. They should have activated another Foundry and attacked. That's silly. Alright, this is pretty bad for us. I think we might be dead. Alright, so if they draw a land, they can go activate Foundry, but they can't pump. So we'll just take 4 and chump block. Oh, it's only 3 now. Okay, so it's just 2 3/3s coming in. We have to block one of them. We're at 3. I guess it just has to be Invoke, right? Then these are only 2/2s, so if we draw a removal spell, we can survive. If we play Shieldred, we lose, I think, right? We can't draw a card. I think we're dead because the Underground River or the Shivan Reef's going to deal us damage. I guess we could draw Black Source that doesn't deal us damage and cut down. If they sack Wedding Festivity of Rossification, that's good. Alright, we're dead. That sucks. The Painlands have a drawback, chat. I know, Cygnus, we need to draw a removal spell. But it doesn't matter because we're going to take a damage from our land. We're going to keep this hand. We have a 2-drop on the play and ability to loot. We'll probably discard the Make Disappear if we don't draw blue mana. Lead off with Haunted Ridge so we can play our turn 2 Blood Tithe. Alright, we'll just play Xander's Lounge now that we drew the blue source. And we can just Fable next turn. I think that's fine. Ambitious Farmhand. Alright, so this is going to be the mid-range white deck instead of the aggressive white deck. Fable here is pretty good. Next turn, if we draw a land, we can go Harvester plus Make Disappear. Oh, I saw some of those builds, Acid. Looks cool. I really like the Siphon Insights for the mirror. I think that's great. Main deck Wedding Announcement's going to be a little tough. I guess we discard Make Disappear. No, we drew the land. Do we just discard nothing? That's nothing. They want a double block. I think that's okay. So we'll go Harvester, hold up, Make Disappear, I think. Well, now we can play Corpse Appraiser and hold it up. I think that's better. This is gonna Make sure stuff like Restoration of Aganjo doesn't get us too good. We'll take Bankbuster. A land's okay too. Go for Throat's okay too, but this will let me hold up my mana a bit better and play a longer game. Scared when someone doesn't discard a Fable? Yeah. I kind of want to counter this, honestly. Maybe Shield Red's good enough against them, though. Alright, now we can go Shield Red plus Make Disappear. And then if they don't kill the Shield Red and the Reflection, we get to start doing Reflection Blood Tithe next turn. Alright, so they're going to draw a card with Bankbuster in response. Lay Down Arms is going to hurt, I guess. It's just a removal spell. Nothing you can do about it. The Shield Red is obviously an important part of us winning the game, but it's only one part. We have to kind of squeeze our opponent from like every angle. And at this point, like, we're just trying to make sure that we can check their strongest thing with Make Disappear, use our mana as efficiently as possible, contain the things that they're doing as best we can. I don't think trading Make Disappear Corpse Appraiser for Bankbuster matters that much, because it takes so much mana for them to get full value out of this. But maybe that was correct. I just think something like Wandering Emperor is a bit better and a bit easier to handle with Make Disappear because it's more expensive. Destroy Evil on the Reflection. Okay. Vicious Farmhand. Kind of want to counter this. Is that bad? I feel like I'm just strangling their mana a little bit with it, you know? Now they'll make another 2/2, and then they can't deal with the Shield Red. And if I draw a Moolsaw, I can attack with Corpse Appraiser as well. Alright, let's attack with just Shield Red. This is a 5/5. If they wanted to trade, that's okay. So we have the backup. Third Farmhand, sure. Another Wedding. Counter this one. So if we attack with everybody and they crew Bankbuster, it's a 5/5. I don't know that that's that good. I think attacking the Shield Red only is okay. Trading it with the Bankbuster is fine. We can just play a backup. Killing the Farmhand. The backside of this isn't that bad, right? Just 3/3 lifelink. It's pretty far away from Covenant anyway. I don't really want to burn Go for Throat. Alright, I'm going to attack with everything, I think. I think that takes away incentive to block Bankbuster on Shield Red, and instead, like, gets a chump block in there. Plus, if they tap 2 to crew the Bankbuster, I can just Go for Throat their last blocker. Alright, so this is here. I don't really want this to trade here, so let's Go for Throw this now. And now, if they don't block Shield Red, they're dead. And so they lose the counters there. They take 6 down to 3. And we'll play a Bankbuster of our own. Alright, Field of Ruin number 1. Sarah Paragon. Was this another Farmhand out the graveyard or a Bankbuster? Bankbuster's pretty big. Paragon's pretty scary, honestly. Alright, so I'm going to play Shield Red. They're going to be at 1, hopefully. And then I just hope that they're dead. Hope they can't gain life somehow. Let's see, right now they still don't have this turned on, but maybe if they cast Bank Buster, crew it, then they can flip this. So it'll be a 4/4. Yikes. Alright, well, that's probably GG. Actually, no, we have another Shield Red. So they'll probably choose their Sarah Paragon. They'll leave me with probably Corpse Appraiser. And then next turn we just play Shield Red, and I think they die on upkeep. Oh, they didn't take 2 damage last turn? Or how did they gain life? I'm so confused. Oh, Sarah gains life when the thing dies. I see, I see. I will draw a card. Sarah Paragon randomly having a bunch of extra text. I will go get Swamp. They can plus on the farmhand. Does it say that when it goes to the graveyard from anywhere? Okay. Goes to the graveyard from the battlefield, exile it. Okay. I kind of want to discard this Blood Tithe Harvester, because we have a lot of outs to just kill them. Mostly it's the big 5-drop effects, you know? I don't know what the Swamp's in their deck for. Alright, so we can trade a Bank Buster for this. I don't think that's that good. I think we're in a lot of trouble. We'll just take it. Rite of Oblivion? Maybe. Sarah Paragon, huh? So we're just play Kaya? Sure, sure. Braid. So we can braid the Bank Buster. Let's draw a card first. Alright. Drawing a lot of cards. Drawing a lot of cards. Go ahead and destroy this since it'll exile it. Damn, Tim, y'all been having some crazy storms lately, huh? I guess maybe now I double block the Cathar. I don't know. It's gonna be like so hard to cut through all this shit. Wedding announcement from the graveyard. It's tough, man. It's probably GG. There's a lot of damage coming through. It's not quite lethal this turn, I don't think. No targets for cut down. We're gonna have to pitch that to Fable and hope for the best. Or oh, they're double strike. I'm way dead. Never mind. GG. All right, so we want all of our big stuff, I think. Some disdainful strokes or negates. I think negate's great. Disdainful stroke, maybe not so much. I'm going to cut all the cut downs. I'm going to bring in the duresses. I'm going to bring in the bank buster. I think I'm going to trim most or all the go for the throats. It feels like they have very few creatures that matter. It's just the big thing. I guess we have to have some ways to kill their creatures, especially Sarah Paragon. Maybe just a couple go for throats. This could be a matchup where Corpse Appraiser comes out because they just have very few actual creatures. All right, let's try that. Let's try cutting Appraiser and just leaving the go for throats. That way we have some answer to Sarah Paragon or tokens that get a big counter on them or whatever. All right, this hand's pretty good. We'll keep. Turn 2, Harvester. Turn 3, Fable. Oh yeah, I always forget Brotherhood Zen hits Planeswalkers too. That's probably a good idea to bring that in. I will get Fable down. We'll probably discard Go for a Throw next turn unless there's a super juicy target. Oh, that's not good. Guess I'll offer a trade. Maybe I should just go for a throat this. Need more juice for the Grixis command. Bankbuster's a good draw. I'm going to go ahead and main phase draw. I know they're probably going to play Wandering Emperor. Not a lot I can do about it, and I don't have a good punish for it. I'm going to go ahead and play the Otawara. I know this might be a little awkward because we can use it later to bounce something, but with 2 Grixis command and a Shield Red and the Bankbuster, I just want to hit all my land drops, I think. You can also use Go for a Throat on the Samurai if we need to. We'll just take the 2. See if we can get Shieldred in there. Still hold up, Go for a Throat. The Grixis command is going to sweep tokens next turn. We might have to Go for a Throat something if they put a +1/+1 counter on it. Damn it. All right, we got to do the Grixis command now because they're going to get out of range next turn. We have to... Let's see. We'll cast Grixis command. Destroys creature with power 2 or less. Each opponent attacks creature with the highest value. We don't have anything to bring back. Yeah, they're way more big, Tim. They don't have a lot of like one drops and stuff. We played against a one drop version last round. They looked pretty good, and they beat us. In general, wedding announcement's very strong against Rakdos decks, like ours specifically. Sarah Paragon. Lauren's hammered our Fable and our Bank Buster. Don't have anything to get back. I don't think it's worth to just sweep the board this turn. I think I'll just say go. I should have popped blood tokens, discard this. I forgot I had this hanging out. That was a big mistake. Big mistake. Maybe I could discard this too now. Seem like they have hit a spot where we're in a lot of trouble. Yeah, I mean, that's just Wedding Announcement and Wandering Emperor. They're just token generators against a deck that's full of 1/1 removal or whatever. It's just bad. Essentially, decks that make a lot of tokens are very good against Cut Down and Go for the Throat, right? Alright, well, we can't do anything about it. I'm going to counter this just because I don't really want to deal with it. And now I just have to use my Grixis command as a 1-for-1 trade for the Sarah Paragon. Not anymore. Alright, that was a great draw. Alright, so we're going to get their Human, their Wandering Emperor, and their Wedding Festivity. And now Sarah Paragon's just going to chew me up, so I got to try to find an out to it here. Alright, we didn't find it. Maybe I should have went for Invoke, or the Grixis command first to kill Sarah Paragon. Because them getting a Wedding Announcement out of the board here is just fucking messed up. Or out of the graveyard, rather. Yeah, I think I just messed up. Alright, GG. We're just like drawing our good cards, man, but I feel like they are just countering us very nicely. I don't know what to do about it. I'm like not sequencing the best, I guess, either, but I think my deck is a reason why that their deck is good, right? Sarah Paragon is cool, man. Drawing duress late game, not great. Alright, you win. GG. Alright, we're on the play here for round number 4. Sounds very good, we'll keep. Alright, lead off with Xander's. Probably end up taking the damage to play the Harvesters over the next few turns. I think that's fine. Alright, another white deck. See if this will be our Kryptonite. Yeah, go ahead and ship it, Acid. I'll take a peek. I'm not looking to break the format. I'm looking to learn the names of all the cards. I know that might sound weird or whatever. The sideboard of Siphon Insight's a great idea, though. I think that's a very cool find. Gathar Commando. Do I trade? I'll just hold the Go for the Throat. I think trading here is okay. I'll just play another Harvester. I don't mind putting my things in the graveyard, right? I don't think they're going to Sun Gold Signal me in this build. This means that they're not aggressive. And so maybe Grixis command later gets back to Harvesters. Feels weak on the draw. Yeah, but the draw is weird in the mirror. I will attack for 3. I'll probably just play Shield Red this turn. I don't think holding up Make Disappear matters that much. It matters when they can get down the Wandering Emperor against me in a bad spot. Yeah, I think Make Disappear is much weaker in a deck that doesn't have throwaway creatures. I don't feel like we have that many throwaway creatures. Like maybe the Fable Goblin, but not even that really. Like I love Make Disappear in Pioneer, right? It's so good with like Young Pyromancer and Third Path Iconoclast, and then you get to these games where you just have to sack something, and in those decks you just always have a shitty thing to sack. But in this format, it seems like that's just never the case. It costs like a real thing to counter something. Alright, we're going to attack with both. If they play Wandering Emperor, we'll counter. If they double block Blood Tithe, we'll go for the throated token. If they go for a chump block on the Shield Red, I think that's okay, because that just means they're getting a Ganja. If they fuck up in a Ganja before damage, I'll kill the token. If not, we'll just let the Shield Red die, and then plan on getting it back with Gix's command, and then maybe Corpse Appraiser this turn, so we can hit our land drop. And again, if they double block and this goes to the graveyard, I'm also fine with that. Alright, so let's go Make Disappear here. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and go for a throated token. Yeah, the serpents seem great. It's just hard to get to 6 mana sometimes. It's so weird to me that it has like the extra X on it. I just feel like it's so rarely cast for 8 or 10 or whatever. I guess in standard. In older formats, maybe that's not true. Sarah Paragon, okay. Can't play anything from the graveyard. That's good news for me. Land. Alright, we're going to attack with just Shield Red, I think. Guess we do this first. We'll eat Cathar Commando. That way they don't have anything for Paragon next turn. We could take the land. And then guarantee Grixis command next turn. I like that. I don't really want him to chump block, so I think I'm going to trade for the human. What I really like about this format is it feels like combat matters. I really like stretching my combat muscles again. Alright, so they're at 3. If they Wandering Emperor minus on the Shield Reds, whatever. If they kill the Shield Red anyway, it's not a big deal. It's only a big deal if they start doing shit with Sarah Paragon. Demolition Field with Sarah Paragon seems pretty solid. They can keep us off of blue completely. Okay. Alright, so now we'll just Gix's command, I guess, to get back 2 creatures. Actually, because they have the demo field, I need to go ahead and get Corpse Appraiser going. And we can use the Grixis command later, I think. Alright, let's eat the Sarah Paragon. All lands, baby. We drew our 3rd swamp. That's really bad news. We did draw another blue source, though, so they can't keep us off of blue forever. Alright. Target for cut down is nice. It's also something for the deal 2 to everything with or the kill everything with power 2 or less for Grixis commands. Alright. If they tap out here for anything, we can Grixis command them to death because we put, what, 2 counters on it? Clear up their little things or make them edict their big thing? Alright, that's fine. I'm not even gonna pitch, just don't care. Good pitch the Haunted Ridge, I guess. Alright, so we go Grixis command for Edict and 2 counters. Everyone who plays Standard is fucking salty, dude. I don't know what it is, man. People are fucking salty in this format, dude. It's like they'd never played against a Invoke Despair before, and I know they play against it every round. Everyone's just like, really? Really? You had that? I'm not gonna cut Corpse Appraiser. I feel like we're just gonna lose the game if we don't keep these in our deck. I just don't feel like we have any late game at all. I guess that's not true with all this shit. They just said, nah, bro. But every single opponent in this format has said something salty. Like, I don't know. Maybe I don't want the duresses. Like, every single hand that has Harvester is just better than every hand that doesn't. Maybe that's not necessarily true or whatever, but goddamn, card's just so broken. It's probably worse when you board it in Negate because you can't hold up Negate for Wedding Announcement, but I'm going to hold up Negate for exactly Wedding Announcements. I'm going to go ahead and get Fable down now. We can discard Harvester. We'll figure it out next turn. But we can do that and then get Corpse Appraiser value. Alright, they're turning me off red mana. I wish I had some duress or something here to use the mana. That'd be nice. Goblin Shaman attacking here is pretty nice. Alright, yes, we'll discard 2. I don't feel like we can lose anymore now that we have Negate Stroke up. I'm gonna discard Gopher Throat too, I think. Yeah, I don't think that's a bad idea, Scoots. Wandering Emperor. Kind of want to play another Fable instead of anything else. I think I'll just chill though. Yeah, I think just having any removal spell in your or any extra basic in your sideboard is probably good. Island or mountain. It's probably easiest to cut you off a red. Lay down arms, that's fine. It is my way to like get out of the mana attacking that they're doing though, but not using my mana is a big sad. I don't want to save it for like a big planeswalker or whatever. Alright, so we'll take one, we'll play Fable, we'll play tap lands. Well, now I feel dumb for countering with Stroke versus Negate earlier. We can Corpse Appraiser that. Alright, what is this worded? Sacks a creature. If they can't, they lose 2 life and draw a card. Then repeat the process for enchantment planeswalker. Okay. So in Corpse Appraiser, copy it, attack. Invoke doesn't work here, I don't think, right? Appraiser what? We have a Blood Tithe Harvester in the graveyard. This is exile anything, right? Oh, I thought I could exile anything. It can only hit creatures. Lame. I thought you only got the ability if it hit a creature. That's good to know. Let's see if I can find an answer to the Sarah Paragon. We don't. Tilt. So I'll just take a Haunted Ridge. No creatures in the grave. Alright, well, I guess we'll just get chewed out by the Sarah for a minute. They're gonna run me out of basics pretty quick here. Probably should have just cast Invoke Despair this turn. I thought maybe we could find Gopher Throat or something off Corpse Appraiser and then get this out of the way. Alright, see what they target. Alright, well now the Invoke is going to be pretty good against them. Alright, especially because they're targeting that. Alright, so they're going to play the Bankbuster probably, but they might go for a double Demo Field and then play one out of the grave. Because they have Field in play that doesn't have the claws on it yet. Alright, so they're just not doing anything with Sarah Paragon? I guess they're just playing around counter spells. Alright, so they're going to take me off of most of my blue mana, but that's not a huge deal. We're not going to do much here. I think we'll probably pre-combat Invoke. Also, if they do this on their turn, they can just play a Field of Ruin from the graveyard. They just didn't do that. It's very strange. Alright, I guess I'll go ahead and play Corpse Appraiser. Exile the Spirited Companion. Maybe I should wait, though. I feel like I'm just going to get Wrath, right? So maybe I just wait. I'm probably going to get Wrath. I'll just wait. Next turn, the Corpse Appraiser plus Shieldra is pretty good. Well, we should have a target for Corpse Appraiser no matter what. I feel like they're just going to Farewell or play a big Busto spell. There we go. Alright. Thank you for giving me my Fable back. It goes in the wrong order. Or they just didn't hit Exile Enchantments. Or they hit Exile Enchantments when they didn't need to. Alright. That's a pretty good draw. Alright, we'll just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, so we'll just discard nothing. Alright, so Bant stuff. Let's see if it's just the domain deck or what. Alright, we'll get Bankbuster down. Unlikely to have any relevant play for 1 mana. Actually, let's get this down. That way we can start applying pressure. We can always play and activate Bankbuster in increments because of the abilities. So it's best to just apply pressure, I think, when they're not doing anything. Alright, so this is just going to be a much different deck than we've played against so far. White-based. It's good that I play against the wacky decks, though, because I need to learn all the cards that are in them so I know what to be looking out for. Mostly just to protect themselves from Field of Ruin Scooter. It's a common thing for players who haven't been playing for 20 years or whatever, you know, like they just don't, they want to prevent feel bads instead of doing the thing that's optimal for their deck building, right? Like obviously drawing Island a pretty bad draw. Like we draw War sometimes, it's pretty horrible, but I think the reason why people don't want, I mean, it's the same reason why people used to play Basics and Legacy. It's a very similar concept. It doesn't mean that it's right. Doesn't mean that it's wrong. Restoration of Ganja is so cool. I love that it's just like white mana ramp. You know, you search for planes, you discard it, you bring it back. It's like the worst case scenario or whatever. It's just pretty cool. All right, so I guess we'll pitch 2 Xander's Lounge. All right, we'll attack with both. And then we'll go Bank Buster, start drawing cards off of it. Next turn, if we draw an untapped land, we can go for Blade Coil. I'll probably use Go for a Throat on the Restoration backside. Architect of Restoration. Card Migration, okay. I'm gonna go and do this now. I don't know if there's some protective thing for it or whatever, but it's a scary one. All right, so this is the Domain deck. We saw this on stream yesterday. Someone showed it to me. That looks pretty cool. All right, so we're gonna attack, and then we're gonna make our opponent discard 3 cards, if they'll let us. Maybe I should crew Bankbuster as well and attack for 6. Kind of like that, honestly. And if they go for Wandering Emperor, I think that's fine, because they'll have no hand versus our huge board with a reflection. Now, I don't know if I have to be wary of counterspells, but I'm not going to play round 1. I'm just going to pay all the black mana possible and make them discard most of their hands. Yeah, their build's a bit different, Scooter, also. They have Siphon Insights and stuff after board. We were talking about it earlier. I get the logic behind it, for sure. Alright, Cycle Herd Migration, that's fine. The fact that it gains 3 life was pretty cool. Herd Migration's a bit better than I ever gave it credit for. How many Brotherhoods End are you playing? Alright, so they're gonna have 1 absolutely cracked card after they discard here. We have Corpse Appraiser, which has no targets currently, but if they kill any of my Blade Coil or Blood Tithe Harvester, we'll have a nice target. We can kill Blocker. We can copy the Blade Coil Serpent just to have an extra big guy. We still have Bank Buster to draw some cards. I think Farewell is the card I'm most afraid of because it's a clean sweep. But I'm not sure they have Farewell in their deck if they're playing Wedding Announcement main. Alright, so discard 2 Traxa and a Mountain, and we know they tutored for Mountain, so they just have 1 card we don't know about. So if they don't bring it back from the grave. Go for a Throat does kill it, though, so they'll draw a bunch of cards, but they need another black to bring it back, I think. Alright, Depop. Now we have Corpse Appraisers for days. Corpse Appraiser for days. Let's go for a Shield Red, and then we'll attack. Don't think I want a blood token, so I'll just have 6. Contagious Vorax, so this is gonna look at top 4. They may reveal a land card. If they don't, they get to proliferate. Okay, but it's any land, so they get Rafine's Tower. I can cycle, but then they take damage from this. Alright. Ossification's pretty good. Alright. That's a bad attack from them, I think. Good for us, though. So we'll go black, red, blue. We'll exile one of their Traxas just in case they're doing some sort of reanimation thing. Take Invoke. We'll go kill the Vorak. Crew, put them to 2, and then they should be dead to the Invoke Despair next turn. Probably shouldn't play my land. I have a bad habit of just playing out on my lands. I just have that like kind of ingrained into my brain from just years and years of playing, especially when they enter tapped. I really need to unlearn that when I get stuck on like one deck like this, where you have a bunch of loot effects. The board proliferating Fables the Dream. Alright, so let's go Invoke Despair. This should be GG. So they sack one thing, a creature, and take 2. Alright, so this is a weird one, but I think Duress is going to be good. Disdainful Stroke's going to be good. Negate's going to be good. Bankbuster, maybe the Razor Lash as well. Definitely Blade Coil. And then I don't know what else. And I think all the cut downs can come out. I kind of want to keep some number of the Gopher Throats. The Abrade can come out. And then maybe the Grixis commands are bad. And then we can still bring in one more Invoke Despair, which I do like. And then we gotta cut one more thing. Maybe we trim one Corpse Appraiser. Doesn't seem like they have a lot of creatures. If we wanted to get all the Corpse Appraisers out, we could bring in like Razor Lash, Transmogrant, and a Gopher Throat. Maybe they have Bankbuster after board 2, so maybe we want the Abrade. I don't think Appraiser's that good in the matchup. Alright, we have a pretty solid opener. We'll go Harvester into Harvester, likely. I feel like they have something weird on, like, I think they have Miracle Bluff on or something. Alright, well, they do have the Bank Busters. Let's go and get Harvester down. Next turn we can play Harvester tap land or just hold up Make Disappear. I want to put pressure on them so that they have to play into Make Disappear, right? It's like we attack here for 3, they're just gonna draw a card, and we can just play another Blood Tithe Harvester, and very few 4-drops are gonna be that punishing. If they have a counterspell here for us, that could be awkward. But that means that maybe later our Shield Red resolves, though. Alright, so they're just going to draw a card. Now, depopulate something they played last game that could be bad for us. But then we get to resolve a Shield Red after, and maybe they don't have an answer for it, so... Yeah, old Bank Bussy. This card's great. Main phase, draw a card. I mean, that's a very... That's a show of weakness, for sure. Alright, we're going to play a Shield Red. And then after that, if we get to untap with anything, I'm going to hold up counterspells basically after that. While they're missing land drops, though, it's basically just depopulate that I'm afraid of at this point. And even if they play it, we draw a card off the Shield Red dying. It's not that bad. If they main phase a Wandering Emperor and eat our creature, that's fine. They don't have that many planes for the lay down arms. They didn't have it. All right, they just missed land drops a bunch. That sucks, but it is what it is. Okay, so this is the Grixis Midrange deck from Steinerson. That's Tommy Ashton, for those of you who are old school and know the name. He essentially wins like every Magic Online event and usually has an extremely clean deck with good sideboard plans of in and outs for various matchups. We went 3-2. We beat a Mirror, we beat a Mono White Midrange, and we beat a Domain deck. I don't think that we're that favored against the Domain deck, so I'm pretty happy with our plan of like more Negates and Disdainful Strokes and getting a bunch of our removal out. In the Mirrors, I really like going a bit bigger with more Invokes and Blade Cool Serpents, and so that all makes sense. We lost once to Mono White Aggro, which I think can be a tough matchup. Cut downs and Gopher Throats are good, but sometimes you just get overwhelmed. I think that's just the nature of Adeline and cards like it. Plus, their sideboard plan or main deck plan even of a bunch of wedding announcements generally very good in the against the modern or pioneer version of Rakdos, and obviously good here too. Most of the white decks are playing some number of wedding announcement between main deck and board, specifically because it's good in this matchup. I would like to play this deck more before I decide to make any sort of real changes. I feel like I'm learning most of the sequencing still kind of from scratch, and I feel like I got a bit better with the deck as the league went on. So very excited to play more of it. But that's going to do it for the video today. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. I'm Tandy, and let me know if you want to see more standard content. We're doing a lot of testing this week leading up to the regional championship in San Diego. Kind of just going through the paces, making sure I know all the card names, how they work with all the other cards and such, and make sure I don't step on my feet. But it's going to do it. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button on your way out. I'm Tandy. I'll see you next time.